Pangu man and new Goroka MP welcomed by party members. More disputes over PORGERA mine reopening. And a fitting finish for Lae City captain.
This is National EMTV News with Jeremy Mogi.
Thanks for joining us for Monday's news. The new member for Goroka, Lae Tambua, arrived in Port Moresby today and was welcomed by Prime Minister James Marape and Pangu party members. In a news conference this afternoon, the Prime Minister said the government is intact and will not be moved by talks of a looming vote of no confidence in the November sitting of Parliament.
The new Goroka MP touched down at the Jackson's International Airport via a Tropic Air chartered flight just before midday. Meeting him at the airport were Pangu party members, family and supporters. Goroka by-election winner Lae Tambua is from the Pangu party. Finishing second was former MP Bire Kimisopa, the leader of the New Generation Party, and he was the one who filed for disputing returns when Henry Ame won the seat in 2017. About 2 hours after arriving in the capital city, the new MP was officially welcomed by Prime Minister James Marape at Manasupe House along with Pangu party members. The new MP then made his first official statement.
Firstly, I want to say thank you to God for making this possible, for allowing me to be the member, for Goroka and to represent my people in this coming Parliament.
Tambua also explained some of his immediate plans as Goroka MP.
The thing that I really want to deliver to the people now is to assist them with the water issue that we are facing currently in Goroka. Not only in Goroka town, but especially in the rural areas also.
Pangu party leader and Prime Minister James Marape backed the new MP's words, saying Tambua will receive the support he needs to transform Goroka to how it was in its glory days many years back.
There's a lot of work that needs to be done in Goroka. Only in 1 year, nothing much can be done, but Pangu can assure residents and citizens and people of Goroka in this 1 year that is left before 2022, Pangu and the Honorable Lae Tambua, in partnership with the Eastern Highlands Provincial Government, will definitely leave behind our legacy that we are a force to be reckoned with. And in as far as Goroka is concerned, we will do our utmost best to restore Goroka back to its glory days.
With talks of a looming vote of no confidence in the November Parliament sitting, Prime Minister James Marape says government has the numbers and remains intact.
And with the strength of 31 members of Parliament from Pangu, and with ULP, URP, and National Alliance, and People's Party becoming major co-partners in our coalition, and when you add up the rest, our numbers always peak at and around 90 members of Parliament. And so we are confident we will go past November.
Women from the Morobe province presented a gift to the new Goroka MP, signifying the place where Pangu party was born. Dennis Orere, National EMTV News.
And Governor Sir Peter Ipatas has said he is disappointed that Barrick New Guinea Limited has instigated legal action as they continue to pursue their removal as special mining lease operator of the PORGERA gold mine. In a media release today, the governor says he encourages Barrick to come to the table, recognizing the fact they no longer hold ownership of the mine. Ipatas' comments come after Barrick New Guinea Limited filed a court proceeding, currently underway before the PNG courts, that challenges the legal validity of the government's grant of a special mining lease to Kumul Minerals Holdings Limited. Barrick in its own media release stating that the company believes this was done illegally and in contravention of its rights over the PORGERA mine. At present, Barrick has filed for a judicial review, which they say has the aim of examining whether due process was followed in the government's decision not to extend the duration of the original PORGERA special mining lease. On Thursday, the 8th of October, Acting Chief Secretary and Chairman of the PORGERA State Negotiating Team, Isaac Lupari, had stated that he intended to advise the national government to initiate legal proceedings against Barrick Gold, claiming years of environmental neglect and sustained human rights abuses. Lupari further added a list of failures by the mining company, which included a failure to fulfill their obligations with regards to the resettlement of landowners and the reluctance of Barrick to hold a round table with government representatives. The response by Barrick today, however, was critical of the government's top official. Barrick stating that there are no historical legacy issues and that their legal action is a legitimate step intended to protect their investors' rights under both PNG and international law. That fact, they claim, had at one stage been acknowledged by Prime Minister James Marape, that was quoted by BNL in their release. For the people of PORGERA, through the Enga Provincial Governor Sir Peter Ipatas, it has been nothing short of disappointment. The governor says that the back and forth between the national government and the mining company has seen his people suffer, saying efforts to divide the landowners and promote further litigation are unhelpful at this time. The governor also saying they are keen to have the mine reopened soon, but understandably are requesting for better commercial terms that recognize the contributions of the landowners and the provincial and national government. All parties, however, do agree on one thing, that the mine's closure and loss of revenue generation will have a massive impact on the economy. And currently sees Kumul Mineral Holdings Limited have been advised to exercise their right to open the mine with the interests of people and the environment a priority. Among stories after the break, suspects in the East Sepik killing captured, a 74-year-old graduate in a literacy program, and village farmers receive government support. Stay with us. Welcome back. Police in East Sepik have shot and killed a man accused of stabbing to death a PMV bus driver in Maringe, Yanguru-Sausia district last Thursday. The deceased was among 3 other suspects who were apprehended over the weekend. Police raided the community where the suspects lived and shot the deceased when he tried to attack police officers and attempted to escape.
2 deaths have resulted from the Maringe killing. The initial killing was of a young PMV bus driver who assists in running his family business. The deceased has been identified as Hilary Bakaman from North Wasera LLG in the Wasera Gawi district. Police say last Thursday the suspect boarded a PMV the deceased was driving, a 25-seater bus from Wewak heading into Maprik town. At Maringe, the suspect took out a bush knife and stabbed the driver, killing him on the spot. A police raid conducted yesterday resulted in the apprehension of 4 suspects. 1 was killed when he tried to escape police custody. Goroka MP Richard Maru said he is distressed and extremely disappointed at the killing of the PMV bus driver. This is the second reported killings along the Sepik highway that turned out nasty. Earlier last week, 3 passengers from Nuku district in West Sepik province were brutally killed during a hold-up between Nuku and Ambunti Drakikia districts. Police are yet to establish the motive of the Maringe killing, but investigations into these 2 separate incidents are continuing. Thaklagunga, National EMTV News.
The Tawamo congregation from the Trinity Lutheran Church in Port Moresby held a dedication service for its new altar yesterday. Spokesperson Winhard Kipper says the event is significant as the church continues to grow physically while spiritually enriching believers. The local church also aims to provide opportunities for youth to attend further theological training abroad.
Songs of praise led the church services yesterday to commemorate the church altar dedication program. Lutheran believers, including other mainline churches, also joined hands. Despite challenges, the altar is a very important cornerstone where sermons and other programs take place.
Mipla been making one Thanksgiving, and Mipla been raising fund sanapin disla shelter. I'm temporary shelter that's all. But inside of disla Mipla to sa emba ino na stava sa temporary, but I'm stava sa semi-permanent inside lo one of the church.
The Tawamo congregation is part of the Lutheran faith, which is almost 2/3 of the country's population. A number of fundraising drives have been done to assist build the church to a semi-permanent status. Believers were thanked for their effort despite the pandemic.
That's all cost them go close to 11,000. Now me like 6 of time now me talk thank you long family members been come in time, kind, help give support them me completing. God, it looks out on you, never blessing you. Thank you very much.
Second part of the program yesterday included a prayer session for the coming event in the later part of this year. This includes Sunday school graduation, training for missionaries and the ELT 2020 Papua District Conference. A bigger mission for the church is to run these programs and embrace the spiritual connection.
Next month, we will have a big event, some Sunday school, by move golo next class where, and then all evangelists all been training for 2 years, all to by graduate 2 and 10.
Jack Lapava Jr., National EMTV News.
A 74-year-old woman is among 33 other graduates from a literacy program that's been run in the squatter settlements of Port Moresby. The Skelim PNG Literature Learning School is a program co-founded by Women Link PNG and supported by expatriate workers Geraldine and Scott Peterson.
After 3 months of sitting in the literacy school, she now manages to read the foreign language we call English.
Not only able to read, but can pronounce words from the English language.
At 74, now mother of 10 and grandmother to 46, Flora Rausebi, from Tufid in the Northern Province and a long-time resident of Port Moresby, it's a milestone achievement.
Get myself enrolled. I am a grateful and privileged to be part of this program.
She is among 33 to graduate over the weekend. The school conducts learning for children and adults.
We just graduated 34 students, 10 preschool level, elementary level is 21 and 9 adults.
The Skelim Save PNG Literature Learning Program is designed for the underprivileged and has flourished in the squatter settlements in Port Moresby's most populated electorate, Northeast. The program is supported by expatriate workers and Women Link PNG.
We purposely came here, came in the settlement to help those unfortunate ones that who can't afford that the school fees in the international level, international standards. So that's why our major sponsor, Scott Peterson and Jordan Peterson.
As a founder for Women Link PNG, one of our aims and objectives is to empower every woman and girls in PNG through different various literacy programs, and that's where the Skelim Save literacy programs comes in line to actually achieve one of those objectives.
Students pay 120 kina for enrollment for a 3-month course. The next enrollments begin in a week's time. Bradley Valenaki, National EMTV News.
Fresh produce farmers in PNG finally have the support of the national government and donor agencies. 85 million kina was made available by the International Funding for Agriculture Development, an arm of the United Nations, to look into agricultural investments which will boost this microeconomy. Vasinatayama reports from Mount Hagen.
A roadshow was held this morning in Mount Hagen for both farmers and those who are involved in farming and fresh produce activities to know more about the project. The Fresh Produce Development Agency, Market for Village Farmers Project, the Department of Agriculture and Livestock, and the Bank of PNG are spearheading the project. The purpose is to create market avenues for fresh produce farmers and to improve their livelihood. Provinces that will benefit are Western Highlands, Jiwaka, Chimbu, Eastern Highlands, Morobe, and East New Britain. It comes in three components. Component 1 is inclusive business partnership to bring together village farming households and buyers. MVF and FPDA will identify buyers to buy fresh produces from the farmers in the villages and also identify market for these buyers so that farmers can only concentrate on farming alone while the market chain continues. Component 2 is to support investments that will provide road access for local farmers and buyers to meet.
Funding sport road improvements, we're connecting all the farming communities, become major trunk roads or highways so that they can have better access to markets wherever they are. Narpla, Mibla Lukluk also supporting all farmers as well as the lead partners to access affordable financial packages.
Component 3 is collective governance and project management to support farmers with financial packages such as superannuation or commercial banks with financial innovative products. Once farmers are earning money from the available markets, the Bank of PNG's Center for Excellence in Financial Inclusion or CEFI will start financial inclusion training for them to know how to manage their money well.
Farmers involved in formal banking system, financial system, access credit, developing all products from agriculture, legally the seed money you got talking, by go pass on the project, now helping you making legal farm, become a medium or big plan.
They are also looking at commercializing garlic nut in East New Britain and in future looking at exporting it to markets in New Zealand and Australia. Vasinata Yama, National EMTV News, Mount Hagen.
And now looking at the NASFAN market report, the Kina opened unchanged at $0.2860 US in the interbank market this morning. At Bank South Pacific, your Kina is buying $0.2785 US, $0.3810 Australian dollars, $0.4145 New Zealand dollars, and 28.77 Japanese yen. Looking at commodity prices at New York close, gold is trading higher, coffee closed higher, cocoa closed lower, and copra closed higher. Crude oil is trading lower, palm oil closed lower, and copper closed higher. And on the stock market, the Dow Jones closed higher, the ASX 200 is trading lower, the All Ordinaries remains unchanged. In the news ahead, Nakia assesses the spread of fall armyworm, an insect with the potential to destroy major cash crops. You're watching Monday Night's News. The United Nations Development Programme, in partnership with the Chinese government, have donated 20 ventilators to Papua New Guinea to help in the country's COVID-19 response. In a brief ceremony this afternoon, the ventilators were handed over to Prime Minister James Marape, witnessed by new Health Minister Sir Pukatemu and other dignitaries.
The 20 ventilators were presented at Morauta House as part of multilateral relations between Papua New Guinea and China, as well as the United Nations.
China has been firmly committed to global anti-pandemic cooperation since the outbreak. Despite tremendous pressure at home, we have provided assistance to international community to the best of our ability.
The Chinese ambassador says China will continue to work shoulder to shoulder with PNG to defeat the novel coronavirus and restore economic growth. He also says most Chinese companies in PNG have resumed work and production, and many of them have flown their employees back via chartered flights to ensure the restart of government projects. The United Nations in PNG has partnered with various countries and their representatives in the country to assist in PNG's COVID-19 response over recent months.
It's not the first handover that the UN does to the government of PNG, and it's not going to be the last, but it's a very important one. These are 15 out of 20 ventilators that were part of a joint endeavor between UNDP and with the financial support of the government of China, part of a broader procurement process that brought in 30 ventilators and the accessories that come with it that have been handed over to and are being handed over to the Department of Health.
The PNG government was happy to receive the much-needed ventilators.
And in this occasion, UNDP is present with the Chinese people and government, present of 20 ventilators. Led by the Chinese government and people, let me appreciate every help matters in this time when we need help. And speaking on ventilators, I think before COVID-19 we only had 40 beds with ventilation throughout our country. Dr. Dekulala probably knows it better than me and most of us, but 40 beds with ventilations throughout a country of 10 million people. That is a statistics that is not something to be proud of.
My priority will be in NCD and Western Province, where the numbers are very, very high at the moment, and I'm very, very happy that in Port Moresby we have the capability in terms of the largest hospital in the country. But for Western Province, which has seen continuous rises of COVID-19 cases, I have instructed my team to place a lot more attention on Western Province, particularly in making sure that OCTED and the Western Province Provincial Health Authority are seen to be working together.
Dennis Orere, National EMTV News.
The International Committee of the Red Cross, or ICRC, met with members of the media in a roundtable meeting recently. It was an informative seminar explaining the work of ICRC and its mandate. It provided a platform for a better understanding to maintain constructive dialogue and collaboration with different media organizations in the country.
Journalists from different media outlets in the country met with leaders and representatives of the International Committee of the Red Cross, or ICRC, to gain a further understanding of the humanitarian organization's mandate. This was the first of its kind, as the organization looks to partnering with the media to further inform the viewers and the public of the work that it has been doing.
For the International Committee of the Red Cross, we are part of the Red Cross family, who takes charge of the so-called, you might call man-made disasters, while the International Federation of the Red Cross and Red Crescent Societies is focusing with their work on natural disasters and also supports national societies around the world in regard to capacity building or training in order to enhance their capacities.
There are two other organizations that work closely along ICRC, and that is the International Federations of Red Cross and Red Crescent Societies, or IFRC, and the PNG Red Cross Society, or PNG-RCS. IFRC provides capacity building, including technical and financial support to national societies, such as the PNG Red Cross Society. In turn, the PNG Red Cross Society brings humanitarian aid for natural disasters like earthquakes and droughts, to name a few. The PNG Red Cross Society was established as an act of parliament to deliver humanitarian services.
We are glad that all the three components of the Red Cross and Red Crescent are here in the country. So to work together and then to maximize the impact for the benefit here of the population.
The three organizations work together and support each other. Journalists had the chance to ask questions and clearly understand the work these three organizations do within the country. Lilian Sopera Kenea, National EMTV News.
The National Agriculture and Quarantine Inspectorate, or NAQIA, is conducting a nationwide survey to ascertain the spread of fall armyworm. Fall armyworm is an insect that has the potential to destroy major cash crops or garden food, a threat to PNG's food and biosecurity.
Fall armyworm is a pest that preys on food crops such as corn, sweet potato, vegetables and wheat, and has the potential to cause significant damage to several important crops in PNG, including corn, sugarcane and rice. Chief Plant Protection Officer with NAQIA, Pere Kokoa, said from the observation so far, the moth's caterpillar is the main cause of all the damages on crops.
Indications or the observations were made so far. Fall armyworm, the actual caterpillar, that's the damage on main host plant we've seen so far in this country is corn, maize. Mostly we've been observing between plants of 2 to 3 months old, but our reports in the highlands show that it's a little bit older plants being affected.
The fall armyworm was first detected in Dara Western Province in February this year. This followed an outbreak in Northern Australia.
So far we have done delimiting surveys in New Islands, Manus, East Newton, and in southern region, we've done surveys in central parts of NCDC and central Rigo, Kairuku, and shortly we'll be traveling this week to start surveys in Milne Bay Province, and another team will be heading to Gulf.
According to the Pacific Community, the fall armyworm was first detected in 2016 in Nigeria and is now present in 28 countries with tens of millions of maize or corn infested. They alluded the spread to growing international trade and transportation outside of Africa. Pacific Island countries are at high risk after it jumped from Africa to South Asia, Southeast Asia, Northern Australia and now in PNG. The survey initiated by NAQIA will assist them plan on how to manage the pest in PNG.
We've been doing nationwide delimiting surveys. Delimiting surveys are meant to find out the extent of spread within a country. And after that, we will go into the next phase of deciding on what to do to manage the pest for the long-term containment or management part of that the insect.
Meanwhile, the Pacific Community, who are helping in containing the spread of fall armyworm, advises that while the invasive pest cannot be eliminated, farmers are urged to manage it sustainably in their cropping systems through integrated pest management. Concerned authorities and donor partners are working closely with NAQIA on research, surveillance and monitoring. Shamin Poreambeb, National EMTV News.
Students at Bugandi Secondary School in Lae have petitioned the Morbe Education Division against the school administration for mismanagement. The students' main grievances were the absence of teachers in the classroom and the grade 10 and 12 internal marks not being sent to the Measurement Services Unit in Port Moresby. Julie Badui-Oa reports.
Bugandi students carried out a peaceful protest this morning at the school's administration office, where their concerns were raised to the Morbe Education Division. Present to receive their petition was the Provincial Program Advisor for Education, Keith Tangui, Chairman of Morbe's Head Teachers and Principals, Christopher Raymond, and the Provincial Senior Secondary School Inspector, Gibson Dom. Their grievances raised include the alleged mismanagement of the school administration and absenteeism of the teachers in the classroom that has been affecting the students' learning since last year.
The grade 12 students, we are not happy because we have found out that the grade 12 marks, the yellow paper has not been sent to Port Moresby. this day to this day. So we are asking, when will this marks be sent and why is it taking this long, or why has it prolonged? We have filled our lowest account and our exams are in 2 weeks' time. So is there some assurance that we will be part of the selection for universities, school institutions next year?
Which is not feel good. And when you play by the looking about but if you are also being affected to my life, where will my life be? You don't know my family, where I came from, where I'm struggling. And I'm expecting to see the honest man I am for. But if you fail, I favor my side in my great governments. But if you feel my side in the process of taking me to the institution where I can continue with my studies, and if you fail me there, where will I be? And how can I go if I don't have a graduate certificate and without going into any institution? That's my life. You are saving a life. You are not saving it anymore. So when you are teaching, you must, or you are in administration matters, you must know that you are talking, you are saving a life. Don't just go to it and another name you are doing something. That's right. I'm like Lumia. Some issues that you have raised.
The chairman of Morbis Head Teachers and Principals, Christopher Raymond, in a response said Bugandi Secondary School is currently under investigation. Mr. Raymond also told the grade 10 and 12 students that he also followed up with the students' internal marks with the MSU in Port Moresby and found out that the marks were sent earlier this morning.
Also today, though I was not called to come here, I did my own level of investigations already as a concerned headmaster principal for headmasters and principals in Morobe, and I was able to ask the police already that your yellow pages have been sent to Port Moresby this morning.
Bugandi Secondary School is one of the oldest schools in Lae. It has more than 2,000 students and 60 teachers. The secondary school has been the subject of security issues, especially school fights over the years, affecting students' learning. The school's head girl, Chalita Kaluralu, said there is no control in the school, especially in the classrooms, due to teachers' absenteeism and no board of management.
And if there are teachers, 1 or 2 teachers, or 5 or 6 or 7 teachers in this school, constantly not coming to class, give me the names. I want the names. I will make sure they get out of this place immediately. Coming appointment. Pay will also be deducted.
The head of the Education Division in Morobe, Keith Tangui, commended the students' approach this morning and told them that the concerns will be addressed accordingly. Meanwhile, the grade 9 students were told to stay home until the grade 12s completed their national exam. Julie Badui, Owa, National EMTV News, Lae.
Trukai Sports is next, and Fidelis Sukina joins us at the sports desk.
Thank you, Jeremy. Great commentary from the NSL Grand Final on Saturday, by the way. We'll have the performance of both teams after the break.
Trukai Sports.
And welcome to Trukai Sports. VTS United lost the grand final on Saturday, but the management says they are not that devastated with the result. Instead, are proud for the debuting team in the NSL who made it into the grand final. VTS United went down to a classy, more experienced Lae City FC side on Saturday in the Kumul Petroleum National Soccer League Grand Final 1-0. But despite the devastation by the players, it was an achievement for the franchise, making it into the Grand Final in their maiden season. Team manager Rogana Strack said after the loss that they were quietly happy with their maiden Grand Final appearance.
As devastated as the boys are, we in the management actually don't feel that sad. We're actually quietly happy, that we brought them this far.
The team had bonded well as a formidable opponent to established teams in the competition and will be looking to go up another level next season.
We've still got a lot of work to do. We're going to come back bigger, better and stronger next year, most definitely. And that's something the boys are very hungry for it, and I'm pretty sure they're going to come back hard.
Rogana said the camaraderie between the players was the key to their rise, with the youth and experience sharing their ideals for a cause which paid off well for the side.
They help each other out a lot, apart from Eliud, the captain, and Yagi, who a lot of people know as well. Probably 80% of the team, not a lot of people know them, but they did really extremely well going up against Lae City.
But with the talent that has been exposed in the team, there is always the choice put on the players whether to be loyal to the cause next season or venture on to a new chapter outside Vitias United. Rogana says they are hopeful the players can be back next season. Otherwise, there is always the challenge of building up their player base once more.
Hopefully they don't get poached. That's something we're very wary of, that, they get phone calls and they could get poached anytime. But if they want to stay in the team, please, by all means. Otherwise, there's plenty of blood out there that we will help.
And Trukai Sports continues after the break. Stay with us.
Trukai Sports.
And welcome back to Trukai Sports. It was a fitting finish for Lae City captain Emmanuel Simon on Saturday. After captaining the side to a grand final win, he was also awarded the MVP of the Kumul Petroleum National Soccer League competition for the 2019-2020 season.
It's been introduced by
Emmanuel Simon, after being appointed the captain of Lae City FC, after the departure of Raymond Gunemba, showed his value as a player to the Lae City club. His leadership, coupled with a consistent performance in the midfield, helped to put Lae City into the finals this season. Earlier on in the night, he had lifted the minor premiership shield, but was called back for a well-deserved Most Valuable Player award. The Kumul Petroleum National Soccer League acknowledging his leadership and value in the competition. For Simon, he was proud to be a captain after almost a decade in the competition.
So happy, proud of this, to become out a champion for this 2019-20 season. NSL, I'm so proud of my boys to win this game today, and it's a nice feeling as a captain after being playing for a season for almost 9-10 seasons, and now first time to be a captain and come out with a victory. I'm so proud of my boys and also myself.
Least one-on-one against the goalkeeper. There it is. That should seal victory for Vitias United. Jonathan Allen with his second.
Jonathan Allen was given the Golden Boot Award for the 2019-2020 season with a total of 12 goals in the season. Allen didn't score in the 4 matches leading up into the final and in the grand final, but his season's performance was outstanding. He was transferred to Vitias after starting the season with 6 goals in Bougainville FC. He and MVP Emmanuel Simon both receiving 3,000 kina cash prize money as well. Wesley Raminai, the Vice Minister for Sports, in his post-match speech, said the government is committed to helping football in Papua New Guinea.
We understand that if you need help, you come and approach us. We are here to help you. With that, we'd also like to commend Kumul Petroleum Holdings Limited for coming on board and sponsoring this game. And as government, we'll always be there to support you people and making sure that you people, you are our people, want to make sure you guys enjoy the game.
With the live streaming of the NSL by EMTV, this season there has been a viewership by an international audience and a wider reach in PNG as well. NSL chairman Benny Popoitai says it is a chance to better market the sport in Papua New Guinea.
What you do on the field is being witnessed by not only Papua New Guinea but countries around the world. Witness what you're doing. Your behavior is important for us to promote the code in this country, and your conduct on and off the field is important for us to promote this code.
And True Kai Sports ends on that note. Jeremy Bill will be back with the weather forecast. Bye for now.
True Kai Sports. True Kai Sports.
This weather update is proudly brought to you by MoneyPlus, with you always.
Weather forecast for the next 24 hours. In Port Moresby, mostly fine, then possible afternoon showers. Darwin Alotau, mostly fine. Popondetta, fine to sunny weather expected. While Kerma, mostly fine, then possible afternoon thundery showers, a high of 28 degrees. Across to the Momase region, Lae, Madang and Wewak, mostly fine. Vanimo, mostly fine, then possible afternoon thundery showers, a high of 30 degrees. Across to the New Guinea Islands region, Lorengau and Kewiang, fine to sunny weather. Buka, Kokopo and Rabaul, mostly fine. Kimbe, mostly fine, then possible afternoon thundery showers expected. And finally, in the Highlands region, Mount Hagen, Goroka and Kundiawa, morning fog clearing into a fine day. Mendi and Wabeg, morning fog clearing into a fine day, then a chance of afternoon showers developing.
The weather update was proudly brought to you by MoneyPlus, with you always.
That's the way it is this Monday, the 12th of October 2020. From all of us here at EMTV, pleasant viewing. Be safe. Good night.